Hi everyone, in this video we are going to talk about the multiple choice element. And since this is an element commonly found in questionnaires, I'm going to show you how it looks on both a canvas frame and a page frame. So to start, let's look at our canvas frame and I'll explain the properties. So the multiple choice element can be found in the question options category, and it's the second option down. When you click on it, you're immediately prompted to create a unique variable name because this element is a variable. So I'm going to call this choice and click OK. You get this little box here that has space for you to type a question and two options. You have your usual object properties, and that video is going to be linked in the top corner right here. Scrolling all the way down, we get the special properties of the multiple choice element. Your first option is to randomize the item order so that each participant sees their options in a different order. You can also link this item order to an array, which means that for every participant and every multiple choice element that this is selected for, you will get a saved array that shows the order that they saw the options in, which is great for if you're testing if a person always picks the first option or some sort of study like that. You can also choose to show or hide the question header if you have text already on the screen and you don't need to type your question here. And you can also choose to make it required or not. Required just means that the study will not move on until an option has been selected. Scrolling down further, you can add an option and delete an option. You can also see the linked variable that you've created, and this is where the options that they choose are going to be stored. A quick note here, make sure that the variable value you've typed here matches or at least represents the options shown on the screen. So let's say I type some fruits here. I have apple and orange. When I scroll down, the variable value has not changed. I have to manually go in and make sure that they match. But again, this isn't going to affect that randomized order. This is just what I've linked with my entry 1 and entry 2. This is super helpful if you're having participants choose between maybe some lengthy sentences or passages, and you have devised a code for yourself so that your data output isn't full of paragraphs. You can just, type a simple code that you've made. We also have this option to allow a custom answer. What this is going to do is it's going to prompt you to create a variable. So I'm going to call this custom. And this is where the participant's custom answer is going to be stored. And you get some new options that pop up when you've enabled this. You can choose to show the custom answer only if the last option is selected. And this is helpful if maybe your last option was other. And that way they only get the option to type their custom answer if they have selected other. Let's say they didn't like the other options. So you can show or hide that. And then for the custom answer box, you have the same options as the other input options. And I'll link that video here if you'd like to see the input objects video. You can show or hide a question header specifically for that box. You can make it required or not, change the input type, choose if it's focused or not, which just means that the box is pre-selected. The participant doesn't have to click in the box to start typing. You can see the variable you've linked and set a minimum and maximum number of characters. As you can see right now, this option got selected. I can also choose to select the other one. This can be changed in the Variables tab. And if you scroll up here, you see the variable properties. Because the multiple choice element is inherently a variable, you're recording what the participant decided. All you have to do to unselect this is to just change that start value to nothing. That way you don't start out with a pre-selected option. So this is what the multiple choice element looks like on a canvas frame. Let's go ahead and create one on a page frame. The difference between canvas frames and page frames is that page frames automatically vertically stack all of your options. So let's say I create another multiple choice question, and now it's stacked in a sort of questionnaire format. And I'll show you by adding a third one. And as you can see, now I have to scroll up and down, and they are already stacked and formatted to look like a questionnaire. You can change the margins and padding when you're on a page frame. You can also choose to shuffle the position on the page. So you want to randomize the order of all the questions on your page frame. You can choose to do that. You can choose if all of your questions should be visible or false, which is hidden. And this can be changed dynamically with events. Let's say you want to hide all of the questions until they choose option 1 or option 3 on the first question, and then more appear. You can do that. You just have to make sure that they're active, which means responsive to events. Scrolling down further, you get the same multiple choice options to randomize the order, show or hide question headers, add or delete options, and allow custom answers. So that's a quick introduction to the different formats of the multiple choice element. I hope this video was helpful.